I'm Jane, and I knew Kathy when she was Kathy back in Wichita, Kansas. I knew her since I was 12 years old, and we were kind of joined at the hip from 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I spent the night over at her house all the time because I had to escape my house. There was too many kids. Second oldest of 8, and there was a lot of squirrels at my house. Kathy only had 2. That was Jeff and Jamie. And I also thought Doug was fabulous. Because he was older and he could drive. Anyway, I'm going to share a couple stories. We moved to Dallas at the end of 9th grade, and when the movers came and they packed up our house, everything was gone except for one saucer with a dab of butter, because my family could never throw anything away. And there was no one there except for Kathy. My friend Kathy was there, and I remember her walking down the street with a saucer with a dab of butter and tears streaming down her eyes, down her cheeks when we left. And she was there. You know, I think everyone knows she was there. The other story on the lighter side is we were about in 8th grade, and there was this amusement park called Joyland. And they had this ride called the Flying Cages. And the Flying Cages, there was no electricity or anything. You just had to get in this cage and move your body back and forth to get it to go over the top. And I tried and tried, but I could not get it. I couldn't, with my other friends. Finally, I said, Kathy, let's do the Flying Cages. And together, we pushed back and forth. We only had a certain amount of time, but we got the cage over the top. And it was fun. And I was thinking of all the things I did with Kathy, and that was the thing I just wanted to share. With Kathy, you could get over the top, and it was fun. And I'll always remember that.
Did anybody mention her laugh yet? Because,
no, nobody said
no. Well, that's because you know, you can really tell a lot from the way somebody laughs. You can tell a lot about that person, and I thought about that a lot. When Kate laughed, she laughed completely. She didn't just half laugh like, huh, but I mean, she was, you know, all of it, and everything she did completely. And I think about that a lot. Things that she was passionate about, she was completely passionate about. Things that she was against, she was completely against them. And it wasn't, you know, this sort of half-assed, well, yeah, and she was, the thing is, sometimes when people are so complete about things, they become narrow-minded. And especially in the political world, people can get so obsessed with narrow, angry opinions and just absorbed with that. And she didn't. That was the neat thing, you know. When people were going crazy, she's like, well, let's try it, see if it works. Okay, you know. You had an idea. What do you think about overthrowing the government? I don't know. Let's try it. You know, it was sort of like it wasn't an angry thing for her. I met her back in probably the Wesley Foundation days in the late 70s, when I was a teenager and she was, you know, a little bit older than that. You know, I knew her during the farm worker days, and then later on, when we went to sue our landlord, you know, went to this little circle of people, and she handed out a flyer, and oh hi, you know, the Tenants Union, and that was really cool. And then when I got married, we bought a house, and we had this, took 3 years to get this fence put in from this company, which she helped us settle the deal with out of court, but I can't, can't divulge the name of the company. But Sears is a big company. And she wasn't afraid. She's like, okay, it's Sears, well, whatever, pack the guns, we're going in, And it didn't matter to her.
Lawyers, guns, and money.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It was just take it in stride and laugh about it, like, well, let's see, jump in and see what the water feels like. And that was so encouraging to me, always. And so I want to thank her for that. My wife and I would like to thank her also very much for always asking about our son Garrett, who has disability, has autism, and he always talked about her too. She only came over to our house a couple times, but he has this, memory that never stops. And he remembers her red cowboy boots.
And her van.
And her van, right. So, Garrett, I gotta go over to Kate's house. Kate with the big red boots in the van. I'm like, yeah. Even today, I'm going to a memorial for Kate. Oh, Kate with the big red boots in the van. I'm like, yeah, that's right. So I mostly wanted to come up here to thank her very, very much. And when she helped us with our problems with the Sears, and also when my wife got laid off, she helped her with that. And I paid her with a painting, and she had great taste in art. We just wanted to thank her for everything she did and for you. And I'm really glad that we invited you, got you guys to come over and just hang out on our deck for that afternoon a couple of months ago. And we talked. I said, none of us are getting any younger, and everyone needs to. Don't wait for these occasions to all get together. If you see somebody sitting next to you haven't seen in 6 months, say tonight, plan to get together with them soon. Share time together, and that's all the time I'm going to take. So thank you very much.